Thank you. If you watch us online today, we have the Pobratymy Fellowman NGO, and our topic is social adaptation of veterans. And with this, I give the floor to Ivona Kostyna, founder of the Sector B initiative. I will present my colleagues. I have Artem Denysov to my left, director of the NGO Pobratymy, who will describe how the organization was established. To my right, I have Andriy Kozinchuk, organizer of the Sector B initiative, and also a member of Pobratymy company initiative. Also Kovalyk coached the first training on overcoming war shock, and also Mykola Zmiyevskiy, participant of the second training on overcoming war shock trauma. Good afternoon. I will start from the very beginning. In December 2014, I for the first time tried to attend the overcoming war shock trauma and post-traumatic stress at the DT, and they represent the U.S. Organization of Veterans, and the DT, whom I mentioned, she possesses a huge experience of Afghan war and work with former Afghanistan soldiers. That's why we decided to design a special initiative which would organize special trainings here in Ukraine. In February 2015, we organized the first such training. On the second training, we were happy to welcome one of the leaders of the war veterans organization from Denmark. For us, it was a precious experience because at the very beginning we had no idea how to organize such an organization. The major objective of our project and of our organization is to provide assistance at the peer-to-peer basis, and in all our projects their communication is built from peer-to-peer, from fellow to fellow, and from one veteran to veteran. That is what proved to be very successful in Denmark, and we decided why not, why it should not work in Ukraine. The trainees who graduated from our first two trainings, they became trainers for trainers and organized the new trainings. And Kovalyk and Andriy Kozinchuk. I'm Andriy Kozinchuk. I'm co-organizer of the Sector B initiative, participant of the first training on overcoming war shock, trauma and post-traumatic stress. I'm a military psychologist. I took much effort to attend the first training because I felt that my work as a military psychologist used to be very inefficient. and I wished to be more effective. On the other hand, as an ATO veteran, I understood how inefficient the work in the armed forces and also in police was. And at the same time, I was convinced that it with me everything was okay. My objective was to raise my knowledge and my skills as psychologist, as professional psychologist, and I did not even think that I had problems myself, but when I visited this training, I found that I also required that aid, that psychological rehabilitation. The training took around 2-3 months, and you cannot learn how to work with the veterans unless you are able to work with yourself. And moreover, during that course, I understood what does it mean peer-to-peer approach. This system cannot be established easily at the state level, and the first training which we organized was, I believe, was successful. And with this, I will give the floor to Taras Kovalyk. Good afternoon, I'm Taras Kovalyk. I'm the former IDAR serviceman, and I was wounded during a battle, and I tried to adapt to peaceful life after my injury, but I did not manage and then I went back despite my partial disability, and at the same time I was not able to stay in the front line because I was partially disabled. And the more I tried to understand myself, the more I was frightened and scared. The things which soldiers do at the front line, these are closer to the wildlife, to life in the forest, animal life, and how to act. You do not know. When I first heard about the initiative peer-to-peer, I recollected immediately the anonymous alcoholics organizations. When I heard about this opportunity, I agreed to attend. In 5 minutes, my fellow soldier who came also from Aidar, who attended this training, he described to me, and I immediately understood that that was what I needed. Nobody promised me the sky in the stars, but we understood that we have to open to discover the problems inside inside us, and then to reach the post-trauma growth. I believe that veterans know how to make right decisions in critical situations, and because those people who never have been in such situations, they do not understand. Now I work as an assistant to the trainer, and I continue my work there. We have very professional trainers, who are very professional psychologists. We do not do this without any supervision. I believe that the second group has been moving more quickly. That's much better. We believe that there's 20 more people whom we accepted for this second course will go and assist, will graduate and assist our country. I'm Ivona Kostyna. First, I joined volunteer movement, and in December 2014, I found myself in the ATO area. Our car was broken and we are unable to repair it, and I spent 6 days in the Baltsev in December 2014, and we spent all those 6 days speaking to people, and during all the time I had an impression that I had been hearing the same story all the time. People ask the same question: what will be next? At that very moment, nobody was able to understand what will happen when the war will be finished. And this was not just servicemen who were engaged into the war. These were volunteers. These were families of the servicemen. They were children of the servicemen. And those people who compassionate and remained in this information space for a long period of time. Probably I was happy very much when I met Andriy. We realized that we wrote the same project, which were very two projects which were very similar. We had established the Sector V initiative. This is the initiative aimed at preparing and training trainers, for those trainers who will be able to assist servicemen on overcoming war shock trauma and post-traumatic stresses. It takes 6-7 weeks. Currently, we are seeking for a grant to open this project at a larger scale. We are very happy to familiarize ourselves with the international experience, with Ukrainian experience, and we understood that we should not be in a hurry today. Many problems after war appear 20 years later. we have started the war, which involved the entire generation, and plus do not look at this project as a 1 year, 2 year project. We should establish a system able to operate for dozens of years. Also, we have such a part of work as lectures for servicemen in the ATO area. All of us know that there is no such type of work designed at the state level in Ukraine. We go to ATO and deliver lectures to the servicemen participating in ATO. And we quite often we we inform them about PTSD, shock trauma, and post-traumatic stress. PTSD would not come obligatory to all the services. The PTSD appears when servicemen come back and face the social society, civil society. So we deliver the lectures and first we explain and then we offer some exercises. We also inform some partner. We inform about availability of partner organizations and trainings in them. Also, we offer quarantine when servicemen come back after military operations. They come back to their military detachments, and at this stage we go to them and provide them with introductory information about PTSD and try to prevent the problems in the families. We have the PTSD of the wives of servicemen. In September last year, we visited Denmark and spoke to many Danish organizations. We communicated with American veteran organizations, and we understood that 15 years later we will have also veterans requesting for aid. And we believe that our community should not cover just Ukraine. We should raise this issue at the international level. After Vietnam War, when a great number of suicides was committed in the United States, this attracted attention to this issue. As of today, there are multiple systems around the world how to work with the veterans, and we cannot probably apply all those systems, and we nevertheless we can accommodate their methods to our realities and later offer our findings. So we should not think about just Ukraine, and we should share this information with this. I would like to give the floor to Andriy Kozinchuk. He will describe international experience.
I would like to tell you about our experience in Denmark. We spoke with different international experts, and we don't say about psychological rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is something that we should gain, but we are the adapters of rehabilitation, so to develop new qualities. And we spoke with different experts, and they say there's no sanatorium for veterans, and they say about fresh air, but this is not the main idea. In Europe, they do something, but it's not the use of some equipment, and we say that we should create some. They say that they create some legislation on rehabilitation, but I'm not comfortable with it. There are some academicians, and there is only one psychologist, but there are no. They say about psychological rehabilitation, and they read the books. Imagine that they read all the books in the world, and they speak about these issues a lot. They have discussions, but they don't see those veterans. And I didn't see that the veteran is a person about whom they speak. They wanted to define who will rehabilitate the veteran, but they didn't speak about veterans. And I asked them only one question: whether your project of rehabilitation can compete in the world. Will someone buy this? And for example, some other country, and they said honestly, no, this is our individual project. And that's why we understood that we need to get other experience, American, European experience. They said that we can provide your systems to you, but it won't work because we can't. We try to adapt all the systems we get, and they ask, where is your rehabilitation center? And we say that we want that this should be a home, a platform for veterans. And we started from knowledge, and we lack knowledge. I didn't read all this book, and my colleagues too. And we started with getting experience and sharing it. And we should not only share experience, but we should fill the gaps. And of course, we lacked some knowledge, and we try to get it, and it helps. And of course, those people in the USA, in Denmark, they are not satisfied with their programs. And we see that we create some product that is unique, and it should fulfill our own needs. And our needs, they are in the fact that our veteran, he, because of the war, he is not satisfied with the life he had before the war, and it is understandable that it's difficult for him to adapt after the war. And you remember about this advertisement, not because the veteran works, but we can say that veteran is a sign of quality. He overcame his trauma, and now he can create quality products. maybe it's cynicism from me, but our goal is that the veteran should overcome his trauma and become better than he was before. And in majority, people want to do something different than they did previously, and we want to help them. And social adaptation differs in many ways, and we, through our system, and with the help of our colleagues and friends, we try to create a system. It's very difficult to work with our official bodies of the state, but we are part of the state and part of the society, and despite my skepticism, we are going to work in some framework, but the first precondition is a scientific approach, not policy. We are against political issues. We should work in the framework of science, and then after we succeed, we will do it at a state level with implementing state standards. And as doctors say, don't do harm. And also we address journalists, and want to say that there's one important aspect, how to address the servicemen. In order that they go to doctors and address the doctors, and this is not the issue in Ukraine. In the world, in all the countries, we ask questions and there's no answer for this. Only we should address to the media. And our army is provided with many things. The results are better than before, and our servicemen go back home. These are powerful and nice guys, and I work with them. And we shouldn't create an image that they are poor and weak. And no serviceman goes to psychologist if they show on TV that they look pitiful while they are on rehabilitation. So these men are powerful, they are strong, they face their problems, they are honest about it, and they are ready to work on it. And they become even stronger. And believe me, if you present them as poor and pitiful, you don't provide help in such a way. You just create more problems in the sphere, because in this way we can't address servicemen. And here, through our program, we create an atmosphere that you can work and you are strong. You are a person with unique experience and skills, and with unique future, in fact. And these persons, they have the most powerful potential in this country. And of course, these former servicemen, they can't change everything at once, but they need some time to do this. And this time is patience, and patience is the most of, it's like strength. And I would like to give the floor to Mykola Zmiyevskiy, the member of the second training session. And in spring, in our organization, there will be 50 instructors that will work with the former servicemen. And each instructor will help about 10 or 12 former servicemen, and with each training session we will have more such people. Thank you. I'm Nikolai. My first name is Zmiyevskiy, and I was a member of 3rd Battalion of Mobile Brigade. And how can I explain my condition after demobilization? Of course, I was lucky. I returned home healthy, and but I returned. I became another person, and I had aggression and fear, and I brought what I saw there to my peaceful life, and it's very difficult to overcome this. And In October, during one of the events, I saw my instructor, Andriy, who presented this project. And I became interested in this, and I decided to join. A lot have changed in my life. Those values that were before my service in the army, they just disappeared, and I became a different person, but I didn't know how to do this. I wasn't strong enough. Not even force, but I needed a man who would say to me, oh, try this, try that, and this will be good. And I waited a lot for the start of a training session. It was like a link, a thread that will allow me to return to peaceful life, to become a useful member of society, to create something new. I'm sorry, I am for the first time on TV, and briefly, the participation in the training session allowed me to understand myself better. And I felt the power, will to live. It works, it really works, it helped me a lot. I even can tell you that now I learn a new specialty. I worked at metallurgy plant, and now I want to give people happiness, and I want to become a barrister. And now I am trained in this profession, and I hope that everything will be good and I will succeed in this. Thank you. To create steel and to create coffee, it's maybe like the same thing, and maybe we don't have some. It's not some magic powers. It's a structural program, 4-stage program, and I will tell you about it. First stage, we are provided with information, and we try to understand what is going on. Second stage, we are provided with instruments, support, to go deep in our problems. And the serious traumas happened before the war, and then they deteriorated. And the third stage is when we stabilize condition of a person, provide all the instruments in order to support them, and also to create environment for support. And at the third stage, also we go in the depths of this problem. And fourth stage is personal development, and the person grows. And also Kolya maybe will tell us what will happen in half a year. And when I came there, and half a year passed, and I was a soldier, and I didn't have any plans for the future, because a serviceman lives one day at a time, and we live like in a pride, and we are ready to fight. And when we go home, the rules are different, and there's no pride, there's no environment where I can feel confidence. And this training, he provided me with environment and with the confidence that I am a normal person. And also I understood that I have a lot of new skills and resources, and this can be used by me differently in this society. And I now a student Catholic University, and also I study in Greece, and I want to become a psychologist, and I also work in this project. And I would like to tell all the veterans who will see this program that you should make first step. You should address your problem, and you should say, okay, I'm ready to work. And secondly, you shouldn't use any drugs, alcohol, some medicines, and this is the precondition. You should understand that any addictions, they rule our conscience, and you should be free of these substances. And main idea is to restore normal relationship in the environment, because I feel that people now understand me. And when the veterans say that that arms now is a means of security, maybe there should be a knife in my bag, maybe a small knife, but people see danger in this. And I may say that if that after service people don't feel safe, but I don't, and the veteran is a person that will always defend his life, and this is above all laws. But we should create some system for them, and everyone should remember. And during Maidan, I was sitting here, and do you remember that people, veterans, you should remember that veterans will believe that their life is above the law, and they should undergo these trainings in order to control this.
I would like to add about myself. After training, I understood how many people wish to help. Just imagine that you are that person who needs help, and there are a lot of organizations willing to help you. It is so difficult for a veteran to accept this help because there is your pride, there is something inside you which prevents you from accepting this assistance. So the veteran need to look around and to accept this help. I think that in this situation, another veteran's help could offer proper aid. Look at Rambo. Our war is not over, and we will try to apply this war, to rage this war somewhere else. Let it be something creative for us to fight at some creative front, so to say. Thank you. And I would finish with the following statement. Today in Ukraine we have competition in this field. We have so many people who wish to help and who wish to provide quality assistance. And we can assess the quality of the project just based on the project assistance, project participants' progress. And seeing this progress, we feel ourselves motivated to work further. Some years later, we will understand better which systems work, which do not, and this will allow us to have even negative experience. We will learn lessons from our mistakes. For us, people are important. And this requires a lot of patience. We cannot work for statistics. We cannot say that we managed to help 10,000 servicemen. We managed to deliver lectures to 10,000 servicemen, while we managed to help, really help, just to dozens of people. In our room today, we have trainers of this program, we have partner trainers, we have administrators of our partner programs. If you have questions to us or to our partners, we after this press briefing, we will have 1 more hour in the lounge where you could communicate to us. Good afternoon. I'm representing the state service of the state service of assistance to youth and young people, to youth and families. I have understood that you are not very happy with the state organizations, but nevertheless, I would ask, do you think your system of adaptation could be somehow united in the existing system of rehabilitation in the state? I'm not speaking about sanatoria as of the moment. I will start and I will positively finish the answer. We had been thinking about cooperation with the state bodies. We tried to launch our project jointly with the National Guards, and unfortunately, we did not succeed. But currently, we work independently, but we provide consultations to the armed forces, to the National Guard. My personal opinion that the state should approach to us and request for consultations, because we have more practical experience of delivering consultations to the veterans. We have more contacts with veterans. We work upon request from the servicemen. And this is the work of the state to organize cooperation with us. For the state authorities to become stronger, they should approach to us, and we will work together. I will provide, in the case of Denmark, when the Danish veterans came after war, the Danish government invited NGOs and requested for the services. They had a competition, and worked successfully. We do not have joint assessment criteria with the state. For us, assessment criteria is actual life of the serviceman after our training. We have so-called post-services. We try to follow up his relations with the family, with employers, with friends, etc. With the state, the procedure is different. Everything is assessed by the financial inspector who makes a decision about allocation of funds. That's why we are ready to provide consultations, assistance, etc. So our principles are, of course, patriotic, and at the same time they are scientific. For us, the final outcome is extremely important. If the state is able to create proper venue for us and proper framework for us, we will be first in this turn. But if the accountants, the financial inspectors are those people who decide, then we won't be happy to cooperate with the state. People who work in the state services, these are good people, they are good professionals, but the system is improper, and due to this imperfection of the state system, we cannot reach the positive and welcome result. I am a policeman. I have passed the attestation, but working in police inside the system, I cannot reach the result I wish to reach. And with this, I will give the floor to Taras, who will provide positive conclusion. I graduated from public administration. Currently, we try to understand how the system hinders the positive effects from our trainings. I personally tried to cover all that way from the very beginning. I managed to collect necessary documents. I gained my ATO participant status, but it's not so easy. You should remain calm all the time. We may establish contacts with you, and you might send veterans to us. Our objective is to stabilize them psychologically, to offer them proper approach, how to look for professions everywhere in the world. When you understand that you cannot change the system, you may establish necessary communication. Our final objective is that people who are psychologically stabilized, they can go and search for jobs. And our experience shows that we can do this, and this is good output of our work. For the questions, fifth channel, Ivona, you mentioned that currently you wish to submit your sector project to gain grant. So my question, when you will invite veterans to submit applications to the new training. By February 16, we will submit all the documents to the grant. In April, there will be decision. In summer, we will announce, we will launch a new trainer for trainers course. And in July, you will be, those veterans who might be interested may join the project. Please follow us on Facebook and you will see all the news. We spent almost a year trying to accumulate forces. In May, our project with the second group will finish and we will launch the new project for the third group. We are also thinking about the project for volunteers because volunteers, they are also subject to the impact of this war. And these are two different stories, the stories of the servicemen and the stories of the volunteers. As soon as we know the dates for this training, we will announce this on our website. Also, we plan training for journalists. If you are interested in this trainings, if you are journalists that worked in the ATO, you also may apply to our trainers, to our training. We have resources. If you are interested, please express your interest. Those journalists who worked in ATO, I welcome you. That you are also the risk group for the PTSD. So join our club. If you wish to continue this discussion, you may continue this in lounge zone and as Ilona already mentioned. Thank you.